Hi everyone, this is Diane. I am coming on today to show you how I made this bag. Let me see if I can bring the camera up just a little bit so you can see how big it actually is. This is my hand, this is the bag, and this is KF's Crafts. As you can see, it's a little bigger than KF's Craft, which is what I wanted. I'm going to put the camera back, so if it jiggles, sorry. All right. What I did was I combined two dies to make this bag. And as you can see, I've used Scrap Divas, and the handles are KF's Crafts. And the rest I made on my own, and I'm going to show you how I did this. In case you ever want to make a larger bag, I need this to hold a complete swap that Naughty Naughty is hosting Maggie Homes around the world. So you use one of Maggie Homes collections, and I am using Sunny Days. Yep, Sunny Days. So these are, and she's got quite a few things. So I want it big enough to hold. So hold on just a moment. Sorry, my TV went on. What I did was I took the idea from KF's Crafts little beach bag, and I will probably make one to hold some items for Nicole, but for the swap I wanted a bigger one, and as you can see, it is quite a bit bigger. So what I did was I took Erica's Jelly Bag 2 die and KF's Crafts little, what is it called, 3D tote, and the only thing I used from hers was these handles. So I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to, actually I'm not going to set them aside, I'm going to put them in the bag because I don't want to lose them. And if I don't do that, then I do lose them. So I'm just going to put them back in here so they stay. On Erica's die, what I did was I used the sides of her jelly tote and the bottom of the bag. So here's the bottom of the bag, and I took this particular piece. She has a bottom part where how the bag attaches itself, and a layering piece. So we don't need the layering piece, and we don't need this right now. So what I did was I took a piece of paper, and I measured it. So I want at least a fourth. Let me get my ruler out. So I want at least a fourth to make a tab like this, right? So I just used my ruler, and I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, right? So let me get my pencil out. So I took my ruler, and I mean, this one is not really accurate, so sorry, I want it to be accurate. What did I do with my ruler? So I took my ruler and I did a fourth. So here's a fourth right here. And this one had grid lines, so it's just easier for me. And I just kind of went through and I did grid lines, or grid lines. I made lines, right? And I want to get it as close to this as possible, so I am going to move it over just a hair more. This is my favorite ruler to craft with because it has the grids and it's see-through. This is just an old close to my heart ruler, but I really like it. So now what I did was I put my die on the lines, and I did a tick mark where the edges where it cuts. So that would be like right here and right here. And I just followed them up just like this. Now I use scissors, of course. I use scissors. I think these are a good pair that's clean. And I mitered it, or not mitered it, whatever you call this. I don't know. And I'm going to cut this off because I want an accurate measurement, right? And the only way I can get an accurate measurement that I found was by using this. So there's our little nubs. And I folded the paper in half. And I want it to be exactly even. Right? So fold the paper in half. Now this is just a template I'm making. I'm showing you how I made my template. So I went and I used, now this one, let me see, this is probably smaller than what I used because I don't know, but I'm just showing you this because it's a scrap piece of paper. So I did my template, which I want to make sure it's really even. It's just I didn't fold the paper really even, but that's okay. It's just a template. And then I did how much I want it from here to here. So you get this, oh, I don't know what you call it. You know, so it tapers in. That's why I wanted the box to taper in like how KF's Crafts had hers. So I am going to take it to like right here, right? So when I do my cut on my any cutting thing you use, I'm using this because it's small, but I use my guillotine, but I don't want to drag it over here. So there you go. And that's my template. Now, as you can see, you can make it tapered in more. You can taper it in less, you know, however you want to do it. I'm going to put that back. And now I have two sides. So what I did is on my regular piece of paper, which, no, I should have had a regular piece of paper, but I didn't. Well, I'll just use this one. So on a regular piece of paper, you just use you trace it. I'm not going to trace it on here because I might want to use the paper for something else. So what I did was I just traced it here. And then when I cut out my paper, I used my guillotine, of course, and I put the two pieces of paper together. This piece and this back piece. And so when I cut it, it was cutting out the same size, right? Okay. That gave me my, I did that twice. I did that, see it's white inside. I used 100 and, I don't think I used 110 cardstock. Well, anyways, I used white cardstock. I don't think it was 110 because I knew I was going to glue pattern paper and it would make it sturdy. So I did it for the white and then I did it for the pattern paper. And then what I did with the sides is, let me do my, so I scored these. So I scored these up a quarter. I'm just going to do it just to show you. So these go up. So when I cut my bottom piece, this will glue here, and the second piece will glue on this side, and then I cut out two of these. I cut out, or four, a total of four, two in white and two in pattern paper, and I glued them together. So you get this. But it's still white inside, see? And then I just used hers, and because hers just fits right here perfectly, and I glued this here, and this fits perfectly. And then I just folded it up and just did it how you do a normal bag, like you do a KF's Crafts. And then I did the layering piece on the bottom so you don't see the flaps. And I did a pattern piece on the bottom too, just to make it really sturdy. This is really sturdy. And that's how I made the bag. So I combined the two dies to make what I wanted. And I have done this often. I have used a combination of dies to make something that I want. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can always ask. Hopefully this makes sense to you. And you'll get ideas. This little stitching I have, oh, I'm sorry, I did do a band here. So all I did was cut a strip of paper, backed it on the black, and then when I glued it on the sides here, I just cut the edges off. And I did that for the back. but I did it in another piece of paper because I ran out of it. No, I didn't run out of this paper. I don't know why I didn't use that paper. But anyways, that was easy. And I just put the handles underneath so you don't see them. But these are the handles that are from KS Crafts. And it worked out really well. And I was really pleased with that. So anyways, I'm going to decorate it. And maybe I'll do a video on how I decorate it. So anyways, that's it for today. And thank you very much for coming by. And may God bless your day. Bye.